Oh, there is no doubt that Oklahoma State is the biggest wild card in the Big 12 in 2026.
You are Locked On Kansas State, your daily podcast on the Kansas State Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into this bonus episode of Locked On Kansas State. I'm Christian Rauh. He's Jon Grove. There's a mini helmet in there somewhere as well because it is a Big 12 opponent preview. And we're talking about those pokes. We're talking about Oklahoma State.
Love this helmet.
The Poklahoma State. Yeah, how about that? Think we could hold that one going? That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Right here, yeah.
I don't know. Either way, thank you for joining the show. Locked On Kansas State. Hit that subscribe button. Bring you Wildcat coverage like nobody else and those great jokes that you just don't want to miss right here on the channel. Eric Morris becoming the new head coach at Oklahoma State after firing Mike Gundy after 2 decades of work. It's going to be a brand new Oklahoma State looking team. He brings a ton with him from North Texas, going from green to orange. I mean, there's jokes, and I've seen bumper stickers of the Orange Texas logo or the North Texas logo just being orange. It's pretty funny. No doubt about that. But a lot of people think that although they're bringing a lot of talent from the group of 6 into the Big 12, they can still be successful under Eric Morris. Obviously, that leads and starts with quarterback Drew Mestemaker.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think a return to having an exciting offense is going to be something that fans and a lot of media are going to be talking about with Oklahoma State. And they're right, because when you look back at these past few years, Ollie Gordon had a great 2023 season, but outside of that, Oklahoma State hasn't had a great offense for most of a decade. And now with one of the most top offensive minds at the helm of the program and a bunch of talented players across the offense. I mean, again, take it for what it's worth. It's North Texas. We'll see how they're able to adjust to Big 12 play, but they should still be able to score willfully. That's not been the case for a while now, these last 2 seasons.
North Texas last year under Eric Morris was number 1 in scoring. They were number 2 in passing, not in their conference, in the country. And they scored 45 points or more 9 different times last season. How much of that translates to Big 12? Is it just as good? Or how much of a step up is that going to push back this Oklahoma State team? Like, is this offense that was at North Texas going to just be a complete just transformation, just wearing a different color? Or no, the step up to the Big 12 means something.
I think in some ways they've gotten a lot of warranted praise, but it also feels like there's some other areas here where you could say that they're getting underappreciated, maybe overlooked too, in some ways. I mean, Oklahoma State's kind of a similar stance here with K-State, not just within the schools or the fan bases, but just kind of thinking to themselves, all right, which positions are we tend to oversell, or which position groups are we tend to overlook at some points too. And yes, you could look at the running backs as far as where they're at, and Caleb Hawkins, he's the main headliner, but behind him are 2 or 3 running backs who I suspect will also get a lot of opportunities to produce as well. You can look at a guy like Trey Page, the third, who was solid, rushing more than 800 yards at Tarleton State, and as well as James Madison transfer, Adai as well. He has his best season playing as a running backs coach too. So I think they both have the opportunity to flourish. I think they both have a chance to succeed beyond Caleb Hawkins, and I think that's going to be what makes them dangerous. But I'm gonna push back on all their hype for a minute, because the main concern is going to be defense. Because on paper, they're talented players on the defense, but even with North Texas having the sensational season they did last year, the defense struggled against a lot of American teams. I mean, it'll be clear for sure that Oklahoma State will be able to score 20-plus points per game at minimum, but I'm not sure if those type of fans want to see the same old, the real Big 12 football where it was all kinds of offense. The defense was nothing. I mean, but Cliff Kingsbury, anytime you play Texas Tech and Cliff Kingsbury, you're going to be facing a high-scoring type of team, and that could be what happens with Oklahoma State throughout several games this year, and it could possibly happen when K-State lines up against them in early November.
Yeah, November 7th when that game is. And until then, for the most part, Oklahoma State's schedule is pretty advantageous to the Cowboys, to the point to where many people are projecting them to be one of the top teams inside the conference. Let's talk about that schedule next, right here on the other side. It's Locked On Kansas State. But first, this episode of Locked On Kansas State is brought to you by The Game. Since 1986, The Game has been creating classic college hats that fans are proud to wear. I mean, I'm rocking one right now. Whether you're an alumnus, a current student, season ticket holder, or simply someone who never misses the game, a great college hat is more than just apparel. It's a way to represent your school wherever you go. And this year, The Game is celebrating its 40th anniversary by giving fans a chance to save on some of their most iconic college hats. You've been thinking about replacing an old favorite or adding a new one to your collection. Now is the perfect time. I mean, the hats for Kansas State are very nice. The one I'm rocking right now, this white one, I have this great purple one right here as well that I rock. I mean, there's some really good hats. They're comfortable. They have that old school feel. They are very, very good quality and at a great price. And the price is about to get even better because with hundreds of officially licensed college hats to choose from, you'll find the perfect fit from game day to every day. Don't miss the chance to celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off your entire order. Visit thegamecaps.com. Use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. You can get that 40% off. That's gamecaps.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off. But don't wait. This anniversary offer will not last forever. This episode of Locked On Kansas State is also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, well, FanDuel's giving you a free chance. That's right, free chance to call your shots with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their next game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. MLB Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your prediction before your first pitch. I mean, right now, I've been watching a lot of Tampa Bay Rays baseball lately. Junior Caminero just picked up his 34th homer the other night. He's the guy that I would put as my daily dinger for the day. So if you're ready to play your game today, join all the action on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel. It's the official partner of the MLB. All right, final few minutes here on this bonus episode of Locked On Kansas State. Thanks for making your first or second listen of the day. Make sure you go check out GoPowerCat.com and check out where Jon Grove and the rest of the crew have for you as well on over there. But when you look at Oklahoma State's schedule, they start off on the road against Tulsa. That's a revenge game, whether it's with Eric Morris or not. They lost to Tulsa last year. It was really the final straw in the back for Mike Gundy. They go and travel to Oregon. They host Oregon this year in Stillwater. That's going to be a tough game. They got crushed last season. There's no doubt that that's going to be a tough game. And then they play Murray State. That's their non-conference schedule. But then you look at the rest of their schedule heading into the Kansas State game in November. They're in Morgantown against West Virginia. I don't think I'm too high on West Virginia this year. We haven't played them in 2 years, so I will be completely transparent. Have not paid that much attention to them the way I have with other Big 12 opponents. Then they play UCF. I think that could be a win for Oklahoma State. They travel to Houston. That's a tough one. They play Colorado. We just spoke about Colorado on our last Big 12 preview. Not very high on them. And then travel to Ames to take on Iowa State. I think Jimmy Rogers is going to have some growing pains more than Eric Morris will as a first-year head coach before heading to Manhattan to take on Kansas State. This is a great schedule with the exception of, I'd say, Oregon. I'd even say it'd be fine for Houston. With the exception of the Oregon game, this is a great schedule for a first-year head coach.
I'm going to have to disagree with you here, Christian. I think the schedule seems a little tougher than one may indicate because, of course, you could just look at it and say Oregon's going to be the one that stands out. Though hopefully for everyone's sake, including the Big 12s, it's a lot closer than it was a year ago. But, I mean, these road games, man, they are no slouch because there's a lot of talk about Morgantown and West Virginia perhaps being a better team. We'll see how Rich Rodriguez is going to be able to do. Technically, he was kind of given a kind of a throw out year, but now he's going to be bringing in more of his talent, and we'll see how they're able to perform The game is in Morgantown, too. That's in week 4. But think about these road games at West Virginia, at Houston, at Iowa State, at K-State, at Arizona State. Really, the only guaranteed road win that you may have is at Iowa State, and even Ames is pretty difficult to play at as well. And you got Texas Tech at home, too, which I think not only will be the second most difficult game behind Oregon, but it's also going to be an emotional one for Eric Morris, given his ties to Texas Tech in that program. So I think there's certainly a path to a bowl game here, and we're going to learn about them in those first 4 weeks. But it could be tough. It could be tough. Maybe I kind of envision Oklahoma State as a team who may start out the season a little slower than anticipated, but then they catch fire late in the season, and that could happen around the time they host K-State. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, by the time that they come to Manhattan to take on Kansas State, it'll be a back at half of a road trip, right? It'll be on the back end of a road trip. And then if they are successful, if they do have Arlington aspirations by the time November comes around, well, right after that Kansas State game, they have to host Texas Tech. And then they have to go on the road against Arizona State. So I think the back half of the schedule certainly is more difficult. I'm not sold on West Virginia, but again, I don't pay attention to them nearly as enough. So maybe I'm wrong on them. I'll own that fact for sure. But being on the back end of a road trip and then knowing that Texas Tech is coming into town the following week, if you're a successful squad and you're hoping for Arlington, I don't think you're going to overlook Kansas State, but I could see you maybe thinking about Texas Tech a little bit during that game week while you're practicing and preparing for the Wildcats. So that's something that could potentially come into consideration as well. What an interesting team Oklahoma State is going to be in 2026. I mean, I could see this team win 4 games. I could see this team win 9 games. Like that's one of those ones that I truly think could be a wild card inside the Big 12 this year. I think Drew Mestemaker has the opportunity to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country, or maybe he has some growing pains heading up into the Big 12. Certainly going to be an interesting storyline to follow, beginning with that game at Tulsa on September 5th. We are so close to football. I cannot wait.
Gosh.
We are so close. Go check out GoPowerCat.com.
Pills.
Yes, please. No, I get it. That works for football as well as college basketball. I'm all for it, no doubt as well. Go check out GoPowerCat.com. See what Jon Grove and the rest of the crew have going over there. Come on back over here as we got multiple episodes dropping every single day right here on Locked On Kansas State. If you like the video, like to subscribe. Really appreciate that. Drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts about Oklahoma State. Would love to hear from you. And until next time, we'll see you here on Locked On Kansas State.